I love mountain biking because it's such a sense of freedom, and I like being out with my mates, and I just love being out in nature, out in the outdoors. That's where I'm in my happy place, so yeah. I definitely grew up in an active family, lots of time being outside. Growing up out in kind of rural New Zealand definitely impacted my love for New Zealand and like the native forest. I got into cycling when I was about 24, 25. I was moved back into Wanaka, and when you're in Wanaka you kind of have to cycle. From then it's just been a huge hobby, and yeah, something that I'm absolutely in love with. It's just so awesome being able to be out in nature, getting exercise, a little bit of suffering. I'm a sucker for punishment. And yeah, a really cool community around cycling. But yeah, mainly mountain biking. I wasn't really doing any crazy big missions. I heard about the tour Aotearoa through a family friend. I've always looked at the walking one of the TA, and then I remember one day being at work and just kind of being like, F it, like I'm gonna do it. The tour Aotearoa is a cycle trip from the top of the North Island, so from Cape Reinga all the way down to the bottom of the South Island, so to Bluff, and it follows along different cycle pathways that they've linked together. They've tried to make a lot of it off-road, but there is some on-road sections, pretty much just taking you through some of the best bits of New Zealand. They have an entry that you can enter into. The reason I wanted to do it as part of the TA is that you can track, so you get tracked, and so people can follow along where you are. There's no entry fee. Your entry fee is that you have to offset your carbon emissions, and you have to give a donation to a charity as well. For that charity I picked the Kids Can charity, and then I'd already picked the Greening Taupo charity. I got involved with Greening Taupo through the community planting days, and so they do a lot of advertising around that, and then I'd already been to a few planting days and seen how awesome it was what they were doing within the community. That's how I kind of came up with the idea of making it Give a Little for Greening Taupo. We raised pretty much just over $10,000, which is so awesome. So when you break that down for the plants, it's about $3 a plant, so lots of plants.
Hi, my name's Sarah, and this is where I like to ride my bike, and this is also where all the planting was done from my cycle trip.
The money that we raised and going into Greening Taupo, like now I have this area of over 3,000 plants that I get to maintain, and whenever I go past that be like, I did that, which is pretty cool. I started the TA at start of March. Just about to kick off day one, the tour Aotearoa. If you're doing the event, it needs to be done in under 30 days. It took me 20 days. I could have probably gone a bit faster as well, but yeah. Some of the days I really enjoyed was through the sections of New Zealand that I had never been in, and then some of the other highs were definitely when my family and friends were coming with me. And I had one day that my brother came and met me on the west coast of the South Island, and he cycled with me for a wee way, and that was super special. I mean, getting to the end was pretty good. My mum and my mother and father-in-law were all there, so we had some champagne, and yeah, it was pretty cool to celebrate.
Woo! Drink, have a slug.
Honestly, I loved every day of the tour. The fifth day was probably, it was interesting. It wasn't the physically hardest day, but mentally, I think I was just starting to get a bit jaded, and the fifth day seemed to be quite hard, but that was actually the day that I was coming around the back of Taupo. So I had some friends come visit me, and some family friends came and brought me dinner. That was definitely the worst day, actually, 90 Mile Beach, punishing. So punishing. Especially because a lot of the time you have a headwind. Your bike is making terrible noises, it's full of sand, and 6 hours, same beach. I learned a lot about myself, and being present and in the moment, and gratitude for the beautiful environment that we have. A lot of gratitude for the people I met along the way. There would be random people on the side of the road that would just come give you food, and they'd be tracking you on the app, and they'd come and they'd know who you were, and they'd want to have a yarn. And so yeah, there are some beautiful people out in New Zealand, as well as the environment. definitely filled my cup up. Anyone can do that kind of thing. I know it seems crazy. It's such an amazing, epic adventure. You don't have to go as fast as I did. You could do it longer, you could do it over as long as you wanted, and you don't have to camp. Cycling is just such an awesome way to travel, to be out with your mates, your family, and to get out and enjoy New Zealand and what it has to offer. I've always been into community projects. Being a physiotherapist, I obviously love helping people, and that's what gets me going and brings me happiness. When we first moved here and we wanted to get involved in the community project, we started the Battson trap line. So it's a family trap line that we started. So it goes from a spa park to Hook Falls. So it's about 10-kilometre trap line with, I think we've got about 40 traps on it now. It's a beautiful cycleway and walking path that we're trying to restore. The trap line is important because in order to protect New Zealand, both the wildlife like the birds and the forests and vegetation, we have to eliminate the pests. So possums, we know, have a huge impact on the plants, and then stoats, rats, all the other nasties killing the birds. So in order to protect them, we need to eliminate the wee buggers that are killing them. Shmush. I would just like to encourage people to get out and get amongst their community, wherever they are. It doesn't have to be something crazy. Any small thing that you can do will contribute in a positive way. We should all just be doing our part.